recapping the weekend, great weekend, awesome win. Very excited for our players, fans. Very defensive-led win by dominant defensive performance. Offense moved the ball well a lot of times, but a lot of mistakes in the red zone and little ones that were big ones. One guy here, one guy there missing an assignment, or the game's completely different. So our defense rose to the occasion, scored twice on defense. As usual, we kind of overplayed our players where a lot of our defense, outside of a few D linemen, played every snap. I think the temperature of night game and their tempo on offense helped us, allowed us to do that. But got to commend those guys for playing great on defense the way that we did.
Hey, Lane, there were a couple of games earlier in the season where the defense really struggled. And I mean, they've put together like 5 straight weeks now where they've been pretty formidable. In your mind, was there something that sparked that, or was there a moment where things started to change you can put your finger on?
Well, we're glad we don't play tempo offenses. It kind of helps, if you look at statistically. But I think Springer's been a big part. It's crazy for one player, but if you look at the games and even the second half versus the first half, he's out, has been a big part of it. But we've done what you're supposed to do. We limit explosive plays and we get turnovers.
With the senior night ceremony this week, you got obviously 2 classes of seniors in there. How do you handle that? Do you just let anyone who wants to participate, or you limit it to the 5th-year guys? Just how do you kind of handle that?
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I don't know. I'm trying to make some
I guess
plays that work in the red zone. So we'll have more. I'll bring up John Miller for that or something for you.
I guess to rephrase, are you starting to have the conversations with some of those guys who can come back yet, or is it too early for that?
We don't have those till the end of the year. Right after the last game, regular season game, we meet with those guys. We get their grades back. So, I don't know that. I guess we say don't make assumptions. I guess I'm making a pretty safe assumption the quarterback won't be back.
Just your thoughts on Vanderbilt. I mean, and I know maybe not you guys, but the fan base looking ahead to Thanksgiving night already. How do you temper that with your guys, and what do you think about Vandy?
Well, all you got to do is look around the country. Happens every week. There's Texas, Kansas, Florida went to South Carolina, these big number favorites. And it's the SEC game. So, we've had issues with all 3 phases at some point of the year, so there's no looking ahead. We're excited to be playing at home. To me, it should be a challenge to our fans that Texas A&M didn't use a silent count, which is pretty unheard of in this conference, to go on the road and use a verbal count. Should be a challenge to our fans to cheer louder. So, like you said, senior day and, probably the quarterback's last day. Hopefully we show up.
You mentioned the snap counts from last week, and knowing that you have a quick turnaround after this game, does that change the way you structure practice or times or that kind of thing this week?
Well, we usually cut back at the end of the year. We did more than normal last week with injuries and high play counts. We probably practiced the least last week that we ever have, for a game. And I thought it showed. I thought our players had good juice, good energy, obviously showed defensively. So I think making sure they were fresh, limiting all the good on good, helped us in that game. So we'll do that again this week.
It's kind of been a rotating door at right guard over the last several weeks. What did you think about Eli Acker's performance Saturday night? And do you think you're at a spot where maybe that's going to get more consistent there?
I think we are for this week. I think Eli did a good job, especially for a big-time game versus some very powerful inside players. So, pleased with his performance, especially for the first time really playing.
You talked a little bit after the game about guys having to fill in without Taishim. Just what did you see on film from the guys who had to step in there?
Yeah, they did a good job. You know, we talked about Shanti making plays like he did. Was awesome. Really out of not even playing our normal personnel when that happens. You know, and Knight was banged up from the week before and was limited. So really good job.
Do you expect Taishim and Knight to be closer to full ready this week?
We hope so.